Good Monday evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Deron Butler, welcoming you to another edition of Heat Zone Live, courtesy of Kendall Sports Network. We have the Miami Heat and San Antonio Spurs game underway. Right now is a tie game between these two teams. Both San Antonio and Miami playing at a very high level right now. All right, here comes Miami. Davion Mitchell passes it out to Bam for a three. Rims off. Rebound goes to De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox now has the ball, guarded by Davion Mitchell. De'Aaron Fox looking for somebody to pass it to. Gets it right back. Goes for the spot up three. That one rims off. Rebound goes to Tyler Hero. Hero pushes it up to Wiggins, and Wiggins manages to get the basket. We're all tied at 7. All right, here comes San Antonio again. Drives into the lane. Kicks it out to Wembanyama. Out to Castle. Castle, guarded by Wiggins. Castle loses the ball, and here comes Miami. Tyler Hero finds Bam. Bam over Wemby. Misses it. Rebound goes to Wembanyama. Gives it to De'Aaron Fox. Fox back to Wemby. Wemby finds Justin Champagnie for the uncontested dunk, and the Spurs lead by 2. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Tyler Hero. Hero thought about going for the 3. Kicks it out to Pelle Larsson. To Wiggins. Wiggins gets the basket, and we're all tied at 9. All right, here comes the Spurs again. De'Aaron Fox drives into the lane. Gets fouled, and that will count. So De'Aaron Fox will go to the line for the and-1. Nice uncontested basket from San Antonio. Champagnie getting that uncontested dunk. All right, De'Aaron Fox at the line. He makes the and-1, and we have ourselves a 3-point game. All right, here comes Davion Mitchell. Mitchell gives it to Wiggins for 3. And that one rims off. Rebound goes to San Antonio. Here comes Castle with a spin, drives in, gets fouled, and will go to the line for 2 free throws. All right. Stephon Castle will go to the line for 2 free throws. Stephon Castle drawing contact from Davion Mitchell. Castle knocks down the first free throw. And Castle makes both free throws. So now the Spurs lead by 5. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Pelle Larsson. Larsson out to Hero. Hero drives in and gets the layup. And the Heat are within 3. And there's a 3 from the Spurs. That one rims off. Here comes Tyler Hero. Hero looking to drive in again. Gets his shot blocked, but he gets fouled. Tyler Hero will go to the line for 2 free throws. Tyler Hero makes the first free throw. And Tyler Hero knocks down both free throws, so we are within one. All right, here comes Stephon Castle. Castle guarded by Larson. Castle driving into the lane. Castle missing that one, but he gets fouled. Stephon Castle goes back to the line for 2 free throws. So far, this has been a physical start for both teams right now. Castle knocks down the first free throw. And Castle knocks down both free throws. All right, here comes Bam. Gives it to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell drives into the lane and gets the layup. And right now, the Heat are within one. Here comes Champagne. Gives it to Wembanyama for 3. Misses that one. Rebound goes to Stephon Castle. To Champagne. Champagne passes it out to Stephon Castle. That's a corner 3 for San Antonio, and they knock it down. And the Spurs go up by 4. Here comes Bam, guarded by Champagne. Gets fouled, and will go to the line for 2 free throws. And we're going to have ourselves a timeout. The Spurs lead 19-15. And we are back. Score is 19-15. San Antonio has the lead. Right now, the Heat and Spurs game is on NBC and Peacock. They were just going over the Bam Adebayo 83-point performance. Right now, Bam is at the line, going for 2 free throws. And there we see Asia Wilson, the girlfriend of one Bam Adebayo. She also plays for the Las Vegas Aces. All right, Bam knocks down the first free throw. And Bam makes both free throws. So right now the Heat are within 2. All right, here comes San Antonio. Wembayama has it. Going for a corner 3. That's Keldon Johnson, and he knocks it down. And the Spurs go up by 5. All right, here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Tyler Hero. Back to Davion Mitchell. Here comes Davion. Gives it corner 3. And Bam Bam Adebayo knocks it down. And the Heat are within 2. Here comes San Antonio, driving right into the lane. And gets the uncontested layup. And the Spurs go up by 4. Here comes Davion with a crossover. Gets his shot blocked by Wemby. And here comes Spurs. Victor Wembanyama thought about going up for the pull-up jumper. San Antonio passing the ball around. Here comes Castle. Wembanyama now going for the 3. That one rims off. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Miami. It will be Spurs ball. I mean, no one on the Heat defense bothered to stop that would-be layup from Dylan Harper. And looking at that Wemby block, it almost looked like it was almost a goaltending. All right, here we go. All right, San Antonio swinging the ball around. Stephon Castle for 3. That one rims off. Rebound. Looks like this one's going to be a foul on Luke Cornett. I'm sorry. San Antonio will have it side out. So that foul is going to be on Miami instead. And another foul is on Miami. So that's going to send Steven Castle back to the line. Sorry, Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle missing the first free throw. And Stephon Castle goes 1 of 2 from the line. Here goes Norman Powell for 3, and he knocks it down. And right now the Heat are within 2. All right, here comes San Antonio again. Stephon Castle guarded by Davion Mitchell. Here comes Stephon Castle driving in. Kicks it out to Keldon Johnson. Keldon Johnson going for the 3. It rims out. And here comes Miami. Nope. And another 3 for San Antonio. And Stephon Castle is down hard, clutching the back of his head. Stephon Castle, oof, appears to be in a bad way. Let's see what happened. Got his shot blocked by Kelaware. Oh, and his head hit the back of Jaime Jaquez Jr.'s knee. But thankfully, Stephon Castle should be fine. All right. Stephon Castle appears to be okay, clutching his head still. He's on the bench. I think he may need to go to the back to be evaluated. Okay, right now, Spurs lead 28-23. Here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. Gives it to Tyler Hero. Hero drives in, and Hero knocks it down. It is now 28-25. San Antonio still has a lead, but Miami's starting to claw their way back into this one. All right, Miami's going for the double team. De'Aaron Fox knocks down the basket. And right now, the Spurs are up by 5. De'Aaron Fox has 10 points, shooting 80% from the field in this one. All right, Harrison Barnes now entering the game for San Antonio. Davion Mitchell comes out of the game for Miami. All right, here comes Jaime Jaquez Jr. Gives it to Norman Powell. Powell missing a scoop layup, and here comes San Antonio. Luke Cornett sets the screen. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Spurs. I mean, that should have been out on the Spurs. No, I'm sorry. That's out on the Heat. Excuse me. So San Antonio will have the ball side out. All right, here comes De'Aaron Fox. Loses the ball, and here comes Tyler Hero. Hero pushes it up to Jaquez. Jaquez gets his shot blocked, and here come the Spurs. Spurs going on a fast break and manages to get the layup over Kelaware Ware, and the Spurs go up by 7. All right, here comes Kasper Siakam for 3, and he sinks it. Kasper Siakam now gets Miami within 4. Luke Cornett missing that lob. Rebound goes to Miami. All right, here comes Tyler Hero again. Ball goes sailing out of bounds, and it will be Spurs ball. Miami right now having errant passes, turnovers. And that was a nice block from Dylan Harper, by the way. The trail down Jaime Jaquez Jr. So we'll be right back for more Heat action. And we are back. Score is 32-28. San Antonio has the lead. So far in this game, De'Aaron Fox has been going off. Victor Wembanyama also been going off. And for the Heat, it's been Bam and Tyler Hero. As I mentioned before, this game is on NBC and Peacock. So right now the Spurs have the ball. De'Aaron Fox guarded by Kasper Siakam gives it to Harrison Barnes. San Antonio missing that would-be dunk. Here come the Heat now. And another error turnover for the Heat. They need to slow down. They need to slow it down right now. Norman Powell was the one who came up with that turnover. Trying to find Kasper Siakam. All right, here comes De'Aaron Fox again. Drives into the lane. Stops. Misses the basket. Rebound goes to Khalil Ware. Here comes Miami now. Hawkins finds Bam. Bam back to Hawkins. Finds Norman Powell. Powell kicks it out. And it's stolen away by San Antonio. It's a fast break. And nope, that was going to be a foul on. I think that should be a foul on Miami. I'm not sure. Kasper Siakam is hustling down to stop Dylan Harper from a would-be fast break dunk. All right, so it'll be Spurs ball. Kasper Siakam again coming up with that steal, or rather that stop. All right, here comes Spurs. Keldon Johnson kicks it out to Dylan Harper. Back to Keldon Johnson. Finds De'Aaron Fox. Back to Johnson. Spurs are swinging the ball around. They give it to Harrison Barnes. Barnes leans in and gets the basket. And the Spurs go up by 7. All right, here comes Bam. Bam thinking about going for the 3. Guarded by Harrison Barnes. Bam down low in the post. Kicks it out to Kasper Siakam. Siakam finds Hawkins. Hawkins with 3 seconds to shoot. Comes up with the air ball, and here comes the Spurs again. Dylan Harper drives in, kicks it out to Harrison Barnes for a corner 3. That one rims off. Rebound by Khalil Ware. Here comes Jaime Hawkins Jr. Hawkins finds Siakam. Finds Khalil Ware for 3. That one rims off. All right, here comes San Antonio. Keldon Johnson drives in. Gets no call, but here comes Miami. There's a 3 on the way, and Kasper Siakam knocks down the corner 3, and the Heat are back within 4. All right, here comes De'Aaron Fox directing traffic, guarded by Jaime Hawkins Jr. Harrison Barnes for 3. He sinks it. And right now, the Spurs are leading by 7 again. Here comes Hawkins. Gives it to Norman Powell. Norman Powell drives in, and he gets fouled. All right, here comes Norman Powell. Puts it up, and he misses it. And that's going to conclude the first quarter. The Spurs lead 38-31. And we are back, ready to begin the second quarter. The Spurs are leading 38-31 over Miami. Right now, it's been a team effort for San Antonio with guys like Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, Dylan Harper, and Victor Wembanyama. Miami, meanwhile, they still have Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, a returning Andrew Wiggins, but they need to get some key defensive stops right now. So right now, the second quarter should get underway. All right, Miami has the ball. Casper Siakam Jr. bring it up to the floor. Kicks it out to Bam. Bam, back to Siakam Jr. Siakam Jr. driving into the lane. Kicks it out to Hawkes. Hawkes finds Norman Powell. Norman Powell drives in, gets his shot blocked, and here come the Spurs. Wembanyama stops on the dime. Thought about going for the basket, but he travels. Here it is again. Victor Wembanyama with another block on Miami. And Eric Spoelstra gets hit with a technical foul. So that sends Justin Champagnie to the line for the technical free throw. He makes it. All right, I thought it was a traveling violation on San Antonio, but the Spurs will have the ball. All right, here comes San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama thought about going for the three, kicks it out to De'Aaron Fox, and De'Aaron Fox gets fouled and will go to the line for two more free throws. That foul is going to be on Norman Powell. De'Aaron Fox goes to the line. De'Aaron Fox knocks down the first free throw. And De'Aaron Fox makes both free throws. So the Spurs now lead by 10. De'Aaron Fox so far with 12 points, shooting 4 from 7 from the field. Here comes Hawkes, guarded by Wemby. Hawkes kicks it out to Bam. Back to Hawkes. Hawkes driving into the lane. Kicks it out to Norman Powell to the shoot. Norman Powell gets his shot blocked yet again. Here comes De'Aaron Fox. Fox drives in. Kicks it out. Corner three for the Spurs. That one rims off. And here comes Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins gives it to Bam. Bam backing down Wemby. Bam out to Wiggins for three. And Andrew Chief Wiggins 3 for Miami. And the Heat are within 7 now. Andrew Wiggins right now with 7 points, shooting 50% from downtown. And the Spurs answer back with a basket. All right, here comes Miami. Norman Powell setting the screen. Andrew Wiggins finds Siakam Jr. Hawkes recovers the ball. Out to Wiggins. Wiggins. Hawkes for the corner three. And that's going to be I think that's going to be a traveling violation on Miami. Victor Wembanyama once again coming up big against Norman Powell. Those long, lanky arms are very useful for Wemby right now. So far, he has 3 blocks this game, and he's averaged three blocks per game, and there's Wemby again with the dunk. Right now, the Spurs are leading by 11, and here comes Bam. Drives in, misses the basket, and here comes the Spurs again. Wembanyama going coast to coast, and he gets the dunk. And that's going to prompt a Heat timeout. Right now, this game has gotten away from Miami, and not in a good way. The Spurs right now are leading 47-34. And we are back. Score is 47-34. San Antonio has a large lead right now. Miami's defense really looks terrible, as well as the offense, making very poor decisions at the rim, especially with Victor Wembanyama lurking around. Right now, Victor Wembanyama with 6 points and 4 rebounds in this game, along with 3 blocks and 2 assists. I think that's going to be a foul on San Antonio. Wembanyama just fell down, but he's back up. All right, here comes Kasper Siakam. Gives it to Bam. Bam gives it to Pelle Larsson. Here comes Norman Powell. Kicks it out to Bam for 3. And that one rims off. Rebound goes to the Spurs. Gives it to Wemby for 3. That one rims off. Rebound goes to the Heat. Nice save by Kaseya Center. Gives it to Bam. Bam guarded by Wemby. Here comes Bam. Gets the layup, and now the Heat's offense is starting to roll. The Heat are down by 11. Bam Adebayo right now with 10 points, shooting 3 from 8 from the field, and Bam breaks up that alley-oop, and here comes Miami right now. Norman Powell for 3. He sinks it. And right now, the Heat is starting to find their way back into this game. All right, here comes San Antonio. Stephon Castle gives it to Wemby. And Wemby gets the basket. And the Spurs lead by 10 in this game. Here comes Bam to Yakajunas. Gives it to Norman Powell. Powell drives in and gets a layup. And right now, the Heat are trailing by 8. Norman Powell so far with 8 points in this game, going 3 for 7 from the field. All right, here comes Stephon Castle. Gives it to Wemby for 3. And Wembanyama sinks it. And right now, the Spurs lead 52-41. Bam gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Nice heads-up play from Miami to get Norman Powell going for that basket. All right, Victor Wembanyama will come out of the game. He already has 11 points, shooting 33% from the field. All right, Miami will have it side out. There's Bam for 3. That one rims off. Rebound goes to San Antonio. Here comes Stephon Castle. And that's going to be that should be an offensive foul on the Spurs. All right, so right now the Spurs making some adjustments for their starting lineup. All right, Spurs will have a side out. Nice heads-up play by Paolo Larson, but it goes out of bounds. San Antonio will have another side out. All right, here comes Stephen Castle. Castle driving into the lane and gets the basket under duress. All right, here comes Miami again. Norman Powell for 3. Rims off. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by San Antonio. All right, Miami will have the ball side out. And the ball goes out of bounds yet again by San Antonio. This time by Stephon Castle. All right, Miami has the ball again. Paolo Larson, guarded by Devin Vassell. And a steal by Devin Vassell leads to another San Antonio fast break, but no. Nope, it's just going to lead to another foul for Miami. This one's going to be on Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins getting physical with Bryant. So the Spurs will have the ball side out. Bryant will come out of the game for San Antonio. Tyler Hero comes back in the game for Miami, replacing Norman Powell. And here's Luke Cornett getting the layup over Davion Mitchell. Right now, the Spurs lead by 15. Here comes Tyler Hero, gives it to Davion Mitchell. Miami swinging the ball around. They lose the ball, and it's going right back to San Antonio. Miami can't seem to do anything right at this moment. The Spurs are on a 7-0 run, and here comes Dylan Harper. Gives it to Stephon Castle for the corner three, and that's a 10-0 run for the Spurs as they now lead 59-41. Pelle Larson thought about going for the three. Pump fakes, gets the basket, and will go to the line for the and one. Pelle Larson nicely done with the pump fakes. Not once, but twice. Putting 3 players in the air. So Pelle Larson will go to the line for the and one. And Pelle Larson knocks down the and one. All right, here comes the Spurs. Stephon Castle has it. Stephon Castle drives in, gets his shot blocked by Andrew Wiggins. And the nice give and go from the Spurs does not go in as well. All right, here comes Miami on a fast break. And that's going to send Pelle Larson to the line for 2 free throws. Let's see it again. Pelle Larson driving in. Oh, but he gets his shot blocked instead by Bryant. I thought that was a foul. So it'll be side out from Miami. Here comes Pelle Larson. Gives it to Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins knocks down the basket. And the Heat are within 13. And that's going to prompt a timeout for the Spurs. San Antonio may have the lead, but right now Miami's chipping away at that lead. The Spurs lead 59-46. And we are back. Score is 59-46. San Antonio has the lead right now. Here comes Stephon Castle. Castle gives it to Dylan Harper. Harper back to Castle. Castle finds Devin Vassell for three. Rims out. Rebound goes to San Antonio. Here's Dylan Harper for three. That one rims out. Rebound by Luke Cornett. And Cornett gets fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws. The Spurs are getting after it on the rebounding end. And as a look at the Eastern Conference standings, Miami right now, they are in 9th place, still in the play-in. Even after their 7-game win streak, they've now dropped 4 in a row. The most recent loss coming against the Houston Rockets. You would have thought that the Heat would have made a push to get out of the play-in, but right now they're back at square one again. Luke Cornett goes to the line. He misses the first free throw. Norman Powell checks back in for the Heat. So every game right now for Miami is a must-win. And Luke Cornett goes 1 of 2 from the line. And the Spurs lead by 14. All right, here comes Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero finds Norman Powell. Davion Mitchell. Pella Larson now has it. Pella gets fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws. I'm loving the way how assertive Pella Larson is getting himself into the free throw line by going to the baseline and trying to get the layup. All right, so Pella Larson's at the line for 2 free throws. Larson knocks down the first free throw. And Pella Larson knocks down both free throws. So now the Heat trail by 12. All right, here comes San Antonio. Keldon Johnson, guarded by Pella Larson, finds the Aaron Fox. San Antonio swinging the ball around. They give it back to Keldon Johnson. Johnson gets a layup over Kel'el Ware. And the Spurs now lead by 14 in this game. All right, here comes Tyler Hero. Bam looking to check back into the game. And that's going to be a backcourt violation on the Heat, so it'll be Spurs ball. Miami can't seem to do anything right at this point. I mean, Victor Wembanyama is returning back into the game for the Spurs. So is Bam for the Heat. All right, here comes De'Aaron Fox. Loses the ball, and here comes Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell going coast to coast. Almost lost the ball. Finds Norman Powell. Norman Powell kicks it out. Tyler Hero going for the 3. Rims off. Rebound goes to San Antonio. Here comes Dylan Harper. Harper contested by Tyler Hero, and he gets the layup. And right now it is a 16-point game for the Spurs. All right, here comes Miami. And they get another basket. And so does San Antonio with another. This one from Dylan Harper with the assist from Wembanyama. The Spurs leading by 16 in this one. Here comes Tyler Hero. Step back 3. Knocks it down. And the Heat are within 13. Here comes Keldon Johnson. Johnson driving into the lane. Almost lost the ball. And he does lose the ball. Pella Larson Kicks it out to Davion Mitchell. Tyler Hero again for three. That one rims off. Rebound goes to Victor Wembanyama. All right, here comes the Spurs. Wembanyama drives in, loses the ball, and by Paolo Larson of all people. And here comes Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell got fouled by Dylan Harper. All right, Norman Powell goes to the line for 2 free throws. Norman Powell missing the first free throw. And Norman Powell goes 1 of 2 from the line. The Heat trail by 12 in this game. All right, Stephon Castle for the corner 3, and he knocks it down. And right now, the Spurs are sending a message with their teamwork and their passing game. Here comes Hawkins for 3. And Hawkins misses that one. Rebound goes to San Antonio. Here comes Stephon Castle. That's an uncontested corner 3. And once again, the Heat defense breaks down as Keldon Johnson knocks down that corner 3. The Spurs leads back up to 18. All right, here comes Paolo Larson. Larson driving in and gets the layup over Victor Wembanyama. So far, he's been the bright spot for Miami. Here comes Wemby. Wemby gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. All right. So far in this game, the Spurs are getting everything they want and sending a message while doing so. The Spurs, as for the Heat, they cannot afford to leave anyone open. Victor Wembanyama knocks down the first free throw. And Victor Wembanyama makes both free throws. Here comes Hawkins for the corner 3. And again, another miss. San Antonio recovers the loose ball. And here comes Victor Wembanyama. Pushes up the head to Champagnie. Champagnie finds Wemby. Wemby to Champagnie again for 3. Rims off. And that's going to be another foul on Miami. The Heat right now are suffering. They are suffering at this point. All right, Keldon Johnson now at the line. Keldon Johnson knocks down the first free throw. And Keldon Johnson knocks down both free throws. So the Spurs lead by 20. Here comes Tyler Hero. Bam setting the screen. Tyler Hero gets the layup over Victor Wembanyama. All right, here comes Stephon Castle. Castle kicks it out to Champagnie. Champagnie guarded by Bam. Wemby guarded by Wiggins. And he misses the basket. Rebound goes to Wiggins. Wiggins gives it to Bam. Bam to Hero. Hero guarded by Keldon Johnson. All right. 9 seconds to shoot. And that ball goes sailing out of bounds by San Antonio. All right, here comes Pelle Larsson. Larsson drives in, misses a basket, rebound by Champagnie. Here comes De'Aaron Fox for 3. Rims out. And that's going to end the first half. San Antonio dominated the first half. Thanks to Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper, and Luke Cornett. Miami right now looks like they could use a jolt either from Bam, from Tyler Hero. And right now this Heat team looks like they are in dire straits. I can't imagine how things have gotten so bad for them. Going from a 7-game win streak that also included Bam Adebayo hitting 83 points against the Washington Wizards to dropping 4 winnable games. 4 winnable games. Including the ones against Charlotte, Orlando, and even Houston. But right now, this Heat team is looking atrocious. Sean Callahan writes, all-time MVP from KSN. They gave you a raise yet? Man, I wish they give me a raise right now. Would help me a lot, but hey, I will love a payroll from the good folks of KSN. Just saying. They need to give me a pay raise. And Sean Callahan also says, you think Spo's seat is in danger, or is he untouchable? That's a good question, Sean. That's a good question. Because right now, looking at what the Heat is doing right now, I mean, Spo's kind of at an even kill. Is his seat in danger? No. Is he untouchable? Yes and no. I mean, Spoelstra, of course, he's going to say, we all know he has 3 NBA championships, or 2 NBA championships. He was assistant coach for 1. That was 06 squad. But I do believe Eric Spoelstra needs to change up some things as far as his approach to how he is playing, how he is using his players. The whole combo with Norman Powell. How he's not working out, especially it's not enough to play defense. You gotta find someone to play defense. I mean, Catholic got to do looks good so far. Paul Lawson is doing some good things, but for me, do I believe Spo is in danger? I might mess up. I'm sorry. I'm trying to mic it back on, but yeah, it really happens. That's what I'm saying. Back to your question. Do I think Spo's seat is in danger? On a realistic standpoint, I want to say yes, but from the standpoint, I'm going to say no. Is he untouchable? Again, yes and no. Yes, because he's been with the Heat for such a long time. And no, because given that this is the NBA, anyone can be expendable. But I doubt that Spo will be sent off to another team. As synonymous as he's been with the Miami Heat for so many years, I can't fathom to think of Spo coaching another team. So, so in my opinion, I think Spo just needs to figure out how to utilize his players better. I mean, yes, he found the success with Bam Adebayo and Kelly playing together in the front court, but the backcourt definitely needs it definitely needs some improvement. You can't have both players who are just offensive minded working together and none of them play defense. I mean, look at Kaseya Center and Paul Larson, for example. Those two not only play offense, but they also play defense. Larson especially. So if I were coach Spoelstra, I would have to put Tyler Hero in the starting lineup and have Casper Siaka Jr. there with him. That way you would have some balance. One guy plays offense, the other guy plays defense. And then you would rotate it with Palo Larson and Norman Powell. While at the same time, you got to have not just Bam Adebayo and Callow, and well, not just Bam Adebayo out there, but if you're going against Wembanyama, you got to have an extra big. In this case, Kello Ware. Have Bam and Kello Ware out there against Wembanyama. I mean, that should be able to help them work out. So, if you guys have any more questions about this game or about the Miami Heat or any comments, feel free to drop them and I'll answer them for you guys. So right now it's halftime, and I'll be back to get some snacks, some drinks, and I'll be ready for second half. And we are back, ready to begin the third quarter. The Miami Heat, they have a long ways to go in this one. And I think that's going to be a foul on the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama, I believe. So that will send Bam to the line for 2 free throws. All right, Bam knocks down the first free throw. A look at the Western Conference standings. The Spurs are 3 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. And right behind them are the Los Angeles Lakers, the Houston Rockets, the Denver Nuggets, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. As Bam knocks down the second free throw. The Western Conference is always a dogfight. No matter how good an Eastern team is. And there's a steal by Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell kicks out to Tyler Hero. Hero finding Davion Mitchell missing that 3. Rebound goes to Wemby effortlessly. And there's De'Aaron Fox guarded by Pella Larson. And that's going to be an offensive foul. And Pella Larson took one right on the chin. I'll tell you what, Pella Larson is one tough defender. He's been one tough defender so far this season. He's been taking a lot of shots to the face, but he still keeps coming back up. So Pella Larson will take the ball side out. All right, here comes Davion Mitchell. Tyler Hero for 3. That one rims off. Rebound effortlessly goes to Wembanyama. And here comes Stephon Castle. Castle kicks it out to Devin Vassell for 3. That one rims off. Rebound goes to Bam. And here comes Bam. Bam double teamed by Castle and Vassell. Gives it to Wiggins. Wiggins to Bam. Bam drives into the lane. Kicks it out. Wiggins for 3. Then that one goes right back to Wemby effortlessly again. Wembanyama so far with 3 rebounds consecutively this quarter. And that one rims off for San Antonio. Here comes Tyler Hero. Gives it to Wiggins. Bam, corner 3. That one rims off. Another rebound for Wemby. That's his 4th one in this quarter. And here comes Stephon Castle, guarded by Pella Larson. Larson gives it to Wemby. Wemby guarded by Wiggins. Wemby drives in. And Wemby gets the basket. And the Spurs lead by 18 in this game. Here comes Tyler Hero. Bam drives in. Pump fakes against Wemby. Gets his shot blocked, and here comes the Spurs. Stephon Castle drives in. Kicks it out to Wemby. Wemby for 3. Rebound goes to Bam. All right, here comes Pella Larson. Larson guarded by Stephon Castle. Kicks it out to Tyler Hero for a long 3. And that one rims off. Rebound goes to the Spurs. All right, here comes Stephon Castle. Miami is 0 for 6 from the field this quarter, while San Antonio only made 25%. Very putrid numbers for both teams, as Devin Vassell gets the basket and will go for the and 1. Devin Vassell beating Andrew Wiggins to the punch for that basket. And a nice assist from Wemby as well. All right, Devin Vassell at the line. He knocks out the and 1, and that brings the Spurs up to 21. All right, here come the Heat. Tyler Hero has it. Guarded by De'Aaron Fox. Here goes Davion Mitchell driving through. Finds Pella Larson. Larson with 4 seconds to shoot. And that one rims off. Rebound goes to the Spurs. and that's going to be a foul on Miami. Paolo Larson doesn't seem to think so, but the referee is saying that's going to be a foul on him. All right, so Stephon Castle goes to the line for 2 free throws. Castle knocks down the first free throw. And Stephon Castle makes both free throws. All right, here come the Heat. Davion Mitchell has it. Paolo Larson loses the ball, intercepted by Stephon Castle, and here come the Spurs again. De'Aaron Fox going baseline. Alley-oop to Victor Wembanyama, and that's going to lead to another Heat timeout. Erik Spoelstra has seen enough, and so has this Heat bench. So has the Heat crowd in the Kaseya Center. Right now, this Spurs team is looking like the Showtime Lakers with their efficient passing. The Spurs right now lead 85-60. And we are back. Score is 85-60. The Spurs have been on a 9-0 run so far. Here goes Miami. Missing another basket, and here come the Spurs again on a fast break. Stephon Castle gets the basket. And it's now 87-60 San Antonio. The Spurs right now are on a roll. All right, here comes Bam. Almost giving up a steal. Paolo Larson, corner three. That one rims off. And here come the Spurs again. All right, here comes De'Aaron Fox. Stephon Castle drives in, and he gets fouled. So Stephon Castle will go to the line for 2 free throws. And Victor Wembanyama, once again, being a defensive force for the Spurs. Stephon Castle making that first free throw. And Stephon Castle makes both free throws. So right now it's a 29-point lead for San Antonio, who are on a 13-0 run. And that 13-0 run is ended by a Tyler Hero 3. My God. This game has gotten away from Miami. And it's only the third quarter. Here comes Wemby again. Gives the ball to Devin Vassell. Alley-oop to Wembanyama. And it's been all easy for the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama so far with 19 points, going 8 for 13 from the field. And here comes Miami needs to do something on offense and fast. Bam gives it to Tyler Hero. Hero drives in, misses the layup, and a rebound goes to Victor Wembanyama. Champagning for 3. Rims off. Rebound goes to, well, that was last touched by San Antonio. And Dylan Harper wants a challenge. Here it is again, that alley-oop over Bam Adebayo. Ouch. So San Antonio will go ahead and challenge who had the last possession of the ball. And we'll be right back for the coach's challenge and the referee's decision. And we are back. Score is 91-63. The San Antonio Spurs have been dominating this whole game so far. And right after this coach's challenge, we see that the call stands and it will remain Miami ball. So it was last touched by Dylan Harper, and the Spurs will lose a timeout. So the Heat catch a lucky break, but let's see if they can build upon it. All right, here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives the ball to Tyler Hero. Hero to Bam. Bam for three. That one rims off, and here comes the Spurs again. Right now, Miami has been 1 for 8 from downtown this whole quarter, while the Spurs have been 0 for 3. And there's a block by Myron Gardner. The Heat definitely need some energy off the bench, and who better than Myron Gardner to give it for them? All right, here comes. All right, Spurs have a side out. And Dylan Harper gets the layup, and it's now a 30-point lead for San Antonio. This one's gotten way out of hand for the Heat. And this has to be one of the most embarrassing games for them right now. Tyler Hero gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. All right, so Tyler Hero will go to the line for 2 free throws. Hero knocks down the first free throw. And Tyler Hero makes both free throws. Miami are down by 28. All right, now here comes Stephon Castle, guarded by Myron Gardner. Devin Vassell gives it back to Stephon Castle for 3. That one rims off. Rebound goes to Tyler Hero. Right, here comes Bam. Bam is double teamed. Kicks it out to Hero. Here comes Hero. Hero gives it to Bam. Bam drives through and gets the basket over Luke Cornett. Bam Adebayo so far with 14 points, going 4 for 14 from the field. All right, here comes Luke Cornett. And I think that's going to be an off-ball foul on the Heat. This one's going to be on Norman Powell. All right, San Antonio will have it side out. All right, Dylan Harper has the ball, guarded by Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell almost came up with a steal. Here comes Devin Vassell. Vassell fades away, misses the basket. Keldon Johnson missing that basket. Rebound goes to Miami. Here comes Bam, drives through, gets fouled, and he will go to the line. And Luke Cornett is down, clutching his face. right? And Bam Adebayo goes to the line for 2 free throws. He knocks down the first. And Bam knocks down both free throws. All right, here comes Dylan Harper. Pushes it up ahead to De'Aaron Fox. Gives it to Harrison Barnes. Barnes finds Keldon Johnson for 3. That ball rims off, and another rebound goes to Miami. Here comes Bam. Bam is double teamed. Finds Norman Powell. Powell kicks it out to Tyler Hero. Hero finds Myron Gardner for 3. That one rims off. Rebound goes to the Spurs. All right, here comes Dylan Harper. Driving in. Kicks it out to Keldon Johnson. Johnson going past Jaquez and gets a layup. Right now, it's been all San Antonio this one. Keldon Johnson with 14 points, going 50% from the field. All right, here comes Norman Powell. Gives it to Bam. Bam almost lost the ball. Bam guarded by Harrison Barnes. And Bam knocks down the basket. And right now, the Heat are trailing by 24. Bam right now with 18 points, shooting 5 for 15 from the field. And it looks like Kasper Siakam is about to enter the game very soon for Miami. And the De'Aaron Fox knocks down that basket. San Antonio leads 97-71. Here's Jaquez. And Jaquez knocks down that corner 3. If only Miami were managed to make those threes earlier on in the third quarter. Here's Dylan Harper for 3. And he gets one in return for the Spurs. And right now, the Spurs lead by 28 in this game. Sorry. No, 26, excuse me. 26. And Norman Powell missing that 3. And I think that's going to be a foul on the Heat. A rebounding foul on Miami. Kasper Siakam Jr. is waiting to come in the game for Miami, as Luke Cornett will go to the line for 2 free throws. Luke Cornett knocks down the first free throw. And Luke Cornett makes both free throws. So now the Spurs lead by 28. And Norman Powell missing that layup. Missing an easy layup against Luke Cornett. Victor Wembanyama's back in the game. Harrison Barnes gets the rebound. And I think he got fouled. I mean, yeah, he did get fouled. So it'll be 2 free throws for the Spurs. Harrison Barnes knocks down the first free throw. And Harrison Barnes goes 1 of 2 from the line. Here comes Bam for three. Bam missing that one. Ball goes out of bounds, and it was last touched by the Heat. It'll be Spurs ball. I'm sorry, Miami will have the ball side out. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Here comes Norman Powell. Thought about going for the layup. Hawkins thought about going for the three. Bam goes for three. That one rims off, and the rebound goes to the Spurs. Here comes Victor Wembanyama. Loses the ball, and that one goes out of bounds. It'll be Heat ball. Kelly Ware now enters the game for Miami, replacing Bam Adebayo. All right, here comes Jaime Hawkins Jr. Hawkins finds Norman Powell for three. Casper Siakam Jr. is there for the putback. And that's what Miami needed the most. So right now, Miami is still uphill climb for them. Wemby for three. Rims off. Rebound goes to Casper Siakam Jr. Here comes Norman Powell. Alley-oop to Kelly Ware. And Miami needed this jolt sooner than later. All right, here comes Dylan Harper. Harper got it by Hawkins. Wemby, another long three. This one rims off. Rebound goes to, I think, San Antonio. So let's see. That should send. Not sure who's going to the line. But Victor Wembanyama has 19 points, 4 assists, and 5 blocks in this game. I say Keldon Johnson going to the line for 2 free throws. He knocks down the first. And Keldon Johnson makes both free throws. All right, here we go. Kelly Ware for the corner three. That one rims off. Rebound goes to San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama like a gazelle, going from coast to coast with his long legs and getting the alley-oop. And he's going to go to the line for the and one. I mean, there seems to be no answer for Victor Wembanyama. You would think it would be Bam and Kelly Ware double teaming him. But so far, it has not looked that way. And Victor Wembanyama knocks down the and one, and we have ourselves a 30-point lead. And that's going to be a foul on De'Aaron Fox. That's going to send Casper Siakam Jr. to the line for 2 free throws. Sorry, Miami will have it side out instead. Hawkins. And that's going to end the third quarter with a nice three-pointer from Jaime Hawkins Jr. to beat the buzzer. That three-pointer from Hawkins should lift some spirits from Miami, but deep down, that reality is that the Spurs are leading 108-81, and we'll be back for more action in the fourth quarter. Keep it locked right here on the Heat Zone, courtesy of Kindle Sports Network. And we are back. The fourth quarter is well on the way, as Miami now trailing in this game, 110-84. Here comes Victor Wembanyama, gets his own putback, as the Spurs now go up by 28. Miami has some serious catching up to do, and it should start with that three from Norman Powell. All right, here come the Spurs now. Wemby answering back with a three of his own. He misses it. Here comes a three. And that one goes down for Harrison Barnes. Right now, Miami seriously needs to get back on track. And they missed that three. And an errant three from the Heat. All right, right now, here comes the Spurs. Wembanyama sets the screen. And that's a missed three. Harrison Barnes kicks it out. Wemby finds De'Aaron Fox, gets his shot blocked, and here come the Heat. Kel'el Ware for three, and he knocks it down. Kel'el Ware knocks down that three. And that's going to lead to a timeout for the Spurs. Right now, the Spurs are still dominating, but the Heat are still trying to make this one a game. Even though it's a steep climb, the Spurs lead 115-90. And we are back. Score is 115-90. The Spurs have the lead. All right. Here comes the Spurs. Dylan Harper brings it up. Kicks it out to Champagning for the three. Misses it. Rebound goes to Kelal Ware. He recovers it. Here comes Hawkins. Hawkins flies in. Misses the basket. Dylan Harper now has it. Harper guarded by Bam. Sorry, that's Myron Gardner, excuse me. Dylan Harper has the ball. Champagning sets a screen. And Harper knocks down the basket. And right now it is I want to say it's a 17-point lead. Yeah, it is a 17-point lead for the Spurs. All right, Carter Bryant right now is entering the game for San Antonio. And there's a three on the way. I think Norman Powell just got fouled, shooting a three, and he will go to the line for 3 free throws, I believe. Norman Powell knocks down the first. All right. Norman Powell makes both free throws. I'm sorry. Yeah, he makes both free throws. I thought it was 3 free throws, but instead it's 2. All right, here comes Luke Cornett. Gives it to Harrison Barnes. Barnes with a step back. Misses the basket. And here comes Jaime Hawkins Jr. Hawkins finds Casper Siaka-Junis. It's a step back 3. And Miami knocks down that step back 3. Myron Gardner now with 6 points, shooting 40% from 3-point land. And a nice block from Kelal Ware. And that's going to send the ball right out of bounds. Last touch by the Heat. It'll be Spurs ball. All right, here comes Luke Cornett. Gives the ball to Dylan Harper. Alley-oop. No go. Here come the Heat again. Hawkins on a fast break. Gets the layup. And now the Heat are within 20. Miami are trying to get themselves back into this game. But so far, it's going to be an uphill climb. There's a 3 on the way. No go. Rebound goes to Miami. There's a 3 on the way. That one rims off. Very bad decision making from Norman Powell with that shot selection. All right, here comes Dylan Harper. Gets the basket. And the Spurs are up by 22. All right, here comes Myron Gardner. Finds Kelal Ware for the corner 3. That one rims off. And here come the Spurs again. As Carter Bryant gets the dunk. And that's going to prompt another Heat timeout. Another Heat timeout. Carter Bryant out here looking like too sweet Gordon, because that dunk was too sweet for San Antonio. As the Spurs lead 121-97. And we are back. Yeah. The Spurs have a 121-97 lead. Right. Here comes Norman Powell again. Finds Callaware. Loses the ball. Here comes the Spurs once again. Carter Bryant kicks it out. Corner three on the way. Rims off. Rebound goes to Miami. And stolen away by the Spurs. Here comes Dylan Harper. All right, right now it is all Spurs in this game. And that's going to be a goaltending on Callaware. So 2 points awarded to Keldon Johnson. Nothing seems to be going right for the Heat. And heading down to the final stretch, Miami has allowed 120 plus points in 5 straight games, the longest streak in their franchise history. Very unacceptable, and so is that putback from Kaseya Center. Harrison Barnes going for the three, and that one falls. Here comes Norman Powell answering back with a three of his own. And right now, it is 126-100. All right, here comes Harrison Barnes for the corner three. Rebound goes to Kaseya Center. Here comes Norman Powell again for three. That's an air ball. And here comes Carter Bryant. That's a three on the way from Keldon Johnson. Oof. That should put the dagger right in for Miami. That should be the dagger right there. Keldon Johnson already with 21 points, shooting 50% from downtown. Here comes Norman Powell. Drives in, gets the layup. And right now, the Spurs are in the driver's seat. Here comes Dylan Harper, going for the three of his own, and he gets it. It is now 132-102. Dylan Harper already with 21 points, shooting 60% from the field. The Heat look absolutely exasperated. And the way they are playing right now, they are not showing any kind of desire to play right now. In the next few games, they have a doubleheader against Cleveland, one on Wednesday and another one on Friday, followed by Indiana. And on April Fool's Day, they got the Boston Celtics. And Callaware coming up with another miss. Kaseya Center missing that three. Callaware knocks down that basket. And the stands in the Kaseya Center are emptying out right now. Fans are heading for the exits, and I don't blame them. And that's a missed three for Miami. Rebound is taken away, goes to San Antonio. Former Heat player Kelly Olynyk is now in the game for San Antonio. Olynyk passes it out. San Antonio goes baseline. And I think that was, Carter Bryant with a too sweet baseline dunk. All right, here comes Kaseya Center, gives it to Callaware. Missing the basket. My God, that is embarrassing. Here comes Kelly Olynyk. Drives in. And he misses a basket. So I think that's going to be a 24-second violation on the Spurs. It'll be heat ball. And Myron Gardner comes up with the and one opportunity. Myron Gardner knocks down the and one opportunity. Okay, here comes the Spurs again. 48 seconds remaining. And here comes Kasper Siakam almost loses the ball. And I think that's going to be a foul on Carter Bryant. Absolutely disgusting play for Miami. Absolutely disgusting. And Kashad Johnson making both free throws. Kelly Olynyk brings it up to the floor. And I think this game is over. And Kelly Olynyk with a needless layup. And that will do it. Final score, 136-111 San Antonio. Five losses in a row. How do you go from a 7-game win streak to now losing 5 in a row? Especially in a crucial moment in the season like this. This is completely unacceptable. This is completely unacceptable for Miami. I mean, aside from Victor Wembanyama being Victor Wembanyama out there, Miami should have known better. I mean, you should have had Bannon pull out guarding him the whole time. But not only that, Eric passes, costly turnovers, air balls, not playing aggressive defense, as well as leading all the players wide open for court squeeze. Those are the things that hit Miami right now. That game. That game was the highest going. It is going. And the game between the Spurs and the Heat, it was closer to when the Heat played in Charlotte recently. A near 30-point blowout. A near 30-point blowout. I don't know if Coach Williams but the Heat needs to find motivation with something. He has to give. And NBC national television, the Heat are always on NBC. The other loss, I mean, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves, but I think they're there. But the Heat absolutely look dreadful. The Heat look dreadful. Going from having a sixth spot, me, guaranteed not to be a play-in, now going back into the play. It's unacceptable. Going from sixth place down to ninth place is unacceptable. The Heat are going backwards now. Watch it. If this team is going to be married to the play-in tournament again, but for how long? Something has to give. With a few games remaining, that margin of error is getting better and better. It's being win by every Heat fans' patience. Right now, I need some answers. This team cannot continue the way they're going. And let's see. You win. Yeah. This Heat team is not looking so good. This Heat team is looking very. I just. I said acceptable. I said cautious. I said right. And you just have to wonder. You just have to wonder where is this going? Can this team get back on track? Can this team get right? Well, of course, just for this other thing. So let me see. Looking at the scoreboard for today's game. For Spurs, so Hawks have 19 points. The other Hawks have 14 points. And coming off the bench, Dylan Harper and Kelly Johnson have 21 points each. Harrison Barnes with 13 points. And Victor Wembanyama with 26 points and 15 rebounds. For the Heat, it was a putrid effort. The only starters that man in the did for Bam and Tyler Hero, each with 18 points. And the only one that did something on the bench was Norman Powell with 21 points. So yeah, this one is another tough pill to swallow. Another tough pill to swallow for the Mighty Heat, and I don't know whether they're worth it. Hang on stretch. Because their next game, well, two games, one on Wednesday, one on Friday, is against the Cavaliers. And that one's going to be yeah, another test. So far, the Heat have been what? The 0-3 now this stretch. And they've been 0-3 so far this stretch, and nothing has worked in their favor. The one against Houston, that was the one they should have won. That was the one they should have won. Okay, and Thompson with the basket unopposed. That put back over the last second. That's not anything. That is not unacceptable. What is this Heat team? It's breaking down and just saying, hey, look, we want to see the end. Let's get the plan. Let's lose or whatever. It's getting ridiculous. As the Philadelphia said, it's getting ridiculous. And right now this Each team does not look like the same team that went on a 7-game win streak. I think he should want to for 2-4 this game. He was watching him on a little later. He was looking a little late. So I had to take care of some real business. But that's neither here nor there. Because I'm here to use play by play. Give you some basketball video. And then probably one of you. That's what I love doing most. But like I said, the Heat really need to get together. And these next 2 games in Cleveland, that's where it needs to happen. But it's going to be a uphill battle against that Cleveland Cavaliers team. Especially with originally acquired James Harden on their roster. But as I like to think everyone before to tonight's game. Or pop tonight's live stream. I know the Heat coming short was not something you wanted. But again, something that's recently. Like I said, I want each and one to look out for each other, love one another, be respectful to each other, respect each other's opinions on life. Always make sure that the love you send out to the world is being reciprocated and being sent back to you in ways you can imagine, whether it's 5-fold, 10-fold, or greater. Just know that someone in the world is thinking of you, and someone in the world is grateful that you exist. Because you never know when that day comes. I'm Ron Butler, reminding you to always run through the paint. Take care. God bless. I love each and every one of you. And as always, even in defeat, don't be. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.